Hello, my name is Philippe Gosselin and I am a Toronto filmmaker. On May 29th, I was brutalized by a member of the Toronto Police Department while going through a major depressive episode. It's a condition that has haunted me since 2013. To make matters worse, I also suffer from restless leg syndrome, and I haven't had a good night's sleep in 15 years. Believe me, this is a very dangerous cocktail. On that day, I felt so bad, and all I wanted was a bed in a hospital and a pill to help me sleep. But what I got was held to the ground by a heavy cop kneeling on my back and my neck, the same move that killed George Floyd just 4 days before. My head was pushed so hard to the ground that the pressure broke a blood vessel right beside my eye, and my hands were held in handcuffs behind my back for hours. The cuffs were so tight that I feared that I may have permanent damage in my dominant hand. That day, it wasn't just the police department that failed to help me. The same day, across the board, I was also failed by 911, a general hospital, and a mental hospital as well. Our police and social services are broken. I am asking for your help today to fund the film of my own story. I want my story to shine a light on a serious systemic problem. With your caring support today, together, we can add to the growing body of evidence needed to push for much needed change. Change that will ensure that vulnerable people who need help get it and aren't treated like criminals like I was. Please know that I do not launch this funding campaign lightly. The officer who brutalized me threatened me, and he was so angry and so out of control. I have no idea how he will react if he sees this. Here are some pictures of some of my wounds. But the damage to my psyche looks more like this. Given time, my psyche will heal, but unfortunately, I don't know if I'll ever get all the feeling back in my hand, and this may be a constant reminder of this horrific experience until the day I die. It was absolutely horrible to experience the same thing that had ended George Floyd's life, and I do not wish that on any of you. I have no idea how Mr. Floyd managed to find the strength to speak calmly, because me, all I could do to express my terror on that day was scream at the top of my lungs. A week after all this happened, I was finally prescribed sleeping pills. But unfortunately, they made me sleepwalk. I lost my balance and I crashed headfirst into a wall. The impact was so powerful that it burst open a 2-inch circular gash on my scalp and caused a concussion. I woke up the next morning in my bed to a searing pain and to large pools of blood all over my floor and my bed, and also in odd places, which leads me to believe that I must have crawled around and lost consciousness multiple times during that night. What a nightmare. For me, this proved to be all too much. The concussion, the post-traumatic stress, and my ongoing major depressive state was so overwhelming that on June 7, I attempted suicide by swallowing my remaining 25 sleeping pills and drinking as much alcohol as I could. I was born with a smile. I loved to play hockey, and I grew up to be a good person and a loyal friend to many. I've always been sensitive to people with mental health issues, having grown up with an autistic younger sister. I also understand the policing system very well. My father was a cop, and my upbringing was steeped in police culture. My father's colleagues were all good and decent people, so today there's a core part of my world that is shattered and gone. It's just a matter of time now before someone, somewhere, regardless of gender, race, creed, or mental health, gets the same treatment as I did. And who knows, maybe it's happening right now. Please, help me shine a bright light on our broken system by funding my film. Together, let's tell a story that will say, the buck stops here. This has to be the year that future historians will identify as the turning point when police forces and healthcare systems across the world started to work together and became a force for good, especially for the most vulnerable among us. My goal is to make a film that will tell in detail what led to this terrifying set of circumstances, because context is everything. It will show what happened during these events and also after, because brutality comes with dire consequences. It will be more than just my story. It will also offer alternatives and solutions for improving policing and healthcare, as well as an educational aspect that will demystify depression. Because feeling depressed and being clinically depressed are not the same at all. And if you've ever suffered from mental illness, you'll understand this perfectly. I want my film to reach the police department in your community and prompt them to take action and change, because I don't want you or anyone you love to go through what I did. And by speaking out together, we all win. I've included links to 2 of my recent works below. You can see for yourself that I can use your trust in me to deliver a compelling film that will have a deep impact. My fundraising goal is lofty, but what can I say? I'm a filmmaker, and it's my job to dream big. And besides, the bigger the film, the stronger the impact. So please join me, and together, I know that we can create a true agent of change. Thank you so much, and please be careful out there.